Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about something that I found I've really come to enjoy. It's called the Chigee AIO-5 Play for BMW. I've always had my eye out for a navigation and audio unit that would let me access everything from maps, music, Audible, Spotify, SiriusXM, all while riding without stopping to mess with my phone. To change from one app to another, for example, changing from Spotify to Audible to Sirius. Very convenient to stop, pull out my phone, and make those changes. Then one day while scrolling through my waste of time social media websites, I came across the Chigee AIO-5 Play for BMW. It looked like it could do everything I would like it to do. So I reached out to Chigee and they sent me a unit to test and review. And after riding with this unit for quite a while, I've come to say it's a great device with a couple of small challenges. But before we dive in, if after watching this review you decide you'd like to purchase one for your BMW, Chigee pays me a small commission for sales made through the link listed below, which really helps this channel a bunch. But as always, you'll find this review to be honest and to the point. All right, let's get into it. Here's an initial 30,000 foot view look. Chigee provides two baskets of information when you're using this unit. Two baskets. In the first basket, it's all about the motorcycle data. It's about the motorcycle, BMW. There are 4 dedicated screens on the Chigee unit that display BMW motorcycle data from the TFT. The very first screen you see when you start the bike up provides the basics: speed, direction, and tire pressure. Move the wonder wheel to the right for 2 seconds and let go. You get the second set of screens, and these are 3 additional screens, all displaying the TFT in a different format. On the first screen, the focus is on speed and RPM, with graphs, numbers, plus lights indicating brake usage. I'll touch on this brake usage light a little later. It's pretty cool. The second screen, it's all numbers, no graphs. The third screen in the series of 3 screens is the focus on lean angle. I discovered I'm not a big leaner. Now let's look at basket number 2. This is where all the magic happens. Once you connect your phone to the Chigee unit, you get access to all the Android Auto stuff. Whatever you have on Android Auto, you see on this Chigee unit, whether it be Google Maps, Waze, Spotify, Audible, I use that a lot, YouTube Music, SiriusXM, podcasts, even text messages, and so much more. It can all be seen on the Chigee unit. And here's what really sold me on this unit: the fact that you can control Android Auto with the BMW's Wonder Wheel. That's a huge convenience to be able to switch between apps without stopping the bike. However, today, there are few limitations with the Wonder Wheel control that should be fixed in the future, and we'll touch on those challenges a little later. How do you install the Chigee AIO-5 for the BMW? Easy peasy. If your BMW has pre-installed a bracket for a navigation unit, the Chigee snaps right in. No modification required, no extra wires. It's very, very simple, and it happens very quickly. Once in place, it draws power directly from your bike, so you don't have to mess with extra wiring. It couldn't be easier. How about the connection secrets? This is the challenging part sometimes. To get the most out of the Chigee unit, you need dual connections. Both Sena and Cardo allow for 2 independent channels, if you will, sometimes called mobile device 1 and mobile device 2. And here's how I set my Sena 50S up for the Chigee unit. Mobile device number 1. I simply connect my Sena headset to my phone. And that's for all the audio, from the music, for calls, navigation, it all comes from the phone. So that's the main connection. Next, you connect your phone to the Chigee unit to provide the Android Auto info to the unit. Mobile device number 2, this next connection, the separate connection, you connect your Sena directly to the Chigee unit. And this is used only for voice commands. In my case, using Android Auto, this is the Hey Google command. I did struggle a little getting the connection right, mainly because I always read the instructions last. So to do this, read the instructions first. So now that we're set up, let's get on the bike and I'll demonstrate how the Chigee AIO-5 for BMW actually works. Okay, here we are on the bike. We're in my garage. I'm just showing you the screen here. And one of the things you want to do when the first thing you see this nav and BMW is if you move the menu back and forth, on the lower of the screen you have TFT and nav. You got to hit the menu button up to turn on the system so that the Wonder Wheel will control the Chigee unit. So when the bike turns on, this is your initial screen you have. And let me say right now, everything we're going to be doing is going to be using the Wonder Wheel until further notice. So this is the first screen that comes up. It has basically just 3 indications. This is it's miles per hour, direction, and tire pressure. And this is the first basket, if you will, that the Chigee has. One basket is all the BMW stuff. Then we have the Android Auto. So let's just look at the BMW basket, if you will. And this is all coming from the TFT. And it's everything there, but it gives a different format. So the first screen you get when you turn the bike on is this main screen here. This is miles per hour, direction, and tire pressure picked up from your BMW system. If we hold the Wonder Wheel to the right for a few seconds to let go, it brings up now this second basket of 3 screens we've talked about. This is the first screen. There's 3 of them. 1, 2, 3, and back to the first one. This gives you a RPM gauge, and this line here shows you when the throttle is on or off. Again, gear selection, temperature. But down here, they've got these 3 buttons, these 2 lights. And they're pictures of a wheel with a brake caliper. And I'm going to pull in the front brake, and when you do that, it lights up. It's pretty cool. And if you're on the brake side, on the other side, and push the pedal down, it'll do the rear brake. If you pull it hard and you're riding, the BMW activates both brakes. It'll show both lights on. That's helpful for me because when I have my big old boot on, maybe my more motocross type boots on this bike, I can't feel the toe pressure, but if it's touching that rear brake, it'll actually light up. I think that's a really, really cool feature of this Chigee unit. It gives you temperature gauge of the motor, etc. If I push the Wonder Wheel to the right, just tap it once, it brings up the next screen. This is one of 3 screens. And this gives you everything again in just numbers. Tire pressure, miles, the date. It's important to know, right? It gives me the battery voltage, which is cool because I don't have that on here unless I go to a different screen, the TFT. So it's kind of nice to see everything right there. So then we go to the third screen. This is just the lean angle. It gives you miles, range, tire pressure, and it gives you a lean angle. And I will tell you, I've learned that I'm not, as I said again, I'm not much of a leaner. Let's go to what I think is why you buy this, and that is to have Android Auto or CarPlay. In my case, I have an Android phone. So Android Auto on my screen, and then I can use the Wonder Wheel to control what goes on. So let's go over there. We hold the Wonder Wheel and go to sequence. This is the set of 3 screens. We hold it again for a few seconds, let go. It brings us now to the navigation unit. And this is all Android Auto. And this is our phone that's connected to the Chigee unit. And then also our Sena is connected to our phone. And that's where we get all the audios coming from the phone to our helmet. And then when the Chigee unit does not produce any sound. It's connecting to the phone and then sending it to my Sena 50S. And then my Sena is connected directly to the Chigee to give input. In my case, it's Hey Google. And then it pops up. Well, you can see it there, right there. And it's picking it up from my helmet, I believe, which is right behind me. All right, so here we are. We have it on nav. And if I use the Wonder Wheel, you can see at the bottom, the Wonder Wheel is moving back and forth on this, we call it the lower bar main screen. So if I want to go to XM radio, I type that in, and now I'm on Sirius Radio. And here I'm back up, and I can go to whatever channel I want, go to music, podcast. These are some things I have left. And we're back on maps. Now, right now, I'm using the Wonder Wheel. Here is the challenge with the Chigee unit. And this is not Chigee's fault. It is actually Android Auto not giving them the code, I guess, necessary to do this. But when you're on that upper screen, there's no way to get this blue circle, if you will, the control circle, to get it down here to the lower bar to change your apps. If you want to go back to your phone or your news or Spotify, you can't do it. You either have to take your glove off and then touch this bottom here. And now we're on the main screen. We can go back to the scroll wheel now and go to whatever app we want to open up. But whatever app we open up, once we open it up, as I say, Spotify, now we're on the top. We can't get back down to this lower bar. I'm using the Wonder Wheel to control that blue square, which is the control wheel. But the challenge is, let's say I want to go to Toby Keith. I push the Wonder Wheel to the right, loads up Toby Keith, shuffle and play, and I want to talk about me. I want to talk about me. But now I can use this here at the bottom to pause, whatever I want to do. But now how do I get back to maps? Well, if I go back up here to the back arrow, it just takes me back to Spotify. If I go back here to there, it gets me back to here. I can't get back to any other app. I'm stuck on Spotify until I get to this lower bar and switch apps. You cannot use the Wonder Wheel to jump from the upper screen to the lower screen. That's going to get fixed at some point, but right now you can't. So the only way to get this fixed is to take your glove off your hand while you're riding, I guess. Come down and touch this bottom part here, and that will bring you to the lower screen. So now you can go to wherever you want to go. Find the app you want to go. You want to go back to maps? Boom, we're back to maps. But now when we go to maps, when we go to maps, we're on the upper screen and you cannot get to the lower bar to go back to music. So there's the challenge. I take my glove off, touch the screen, and some gloves are screen friendly. My two gloves that I wear are not, for whatever reason. They're just not. So you can use the Wonder Wheel to go back and forth. If you're on the lower bar, you can go back and you can choose what you want. It's all fine and dandy. But once you leave the Wonder Wheel and you go up to maps, you're done. It's over. If I want to go to Spotify and change the channel and go to my golf play thing and shuffle and play, I can do that with the Wonder Wheel. But the problem is now I can't get back to maps without taking my glove off, pushing the button, and going back to maps. Okay? However, there is a workaround, and it works really well. And that is with using the Android Auto keyword, which is Hey Google. So to do that, I got to get my helmet on. Just a second, I'll put my helmet on. My helmet is on, and now if I say, Hey Google, maps, and I'm on the maps. So if I go, Hey Google, Spotify, come to Spotify, and it brings me up my now I'm on Spotify. Hey Google, pause. So now I'm on Spotify, but if I want to get back to maps, I have to go, Hey Google, maps. And then let's say I want to go somewhere. Hey Google, navigate to Lansing, Michigan. And there we go. From my house to Lansing, Michigan is 1 day and 8 hours and 2,308 miles. I can use the Wonder Wheel, come back down here, cancel that, and we're back to where we were. Hey Google, Spotify. So the workaround that we don't have to touch this button with our hand is using Hey Google. Now the question comes in, does it work? Yes and no. I have found with my helmet, if I say, Hey Google, SiriusXM, it works fine. However, when I get on my motorcycle and ride, I don't know if it's the noise, but it doesn't work regularly. It's a bit of a hiccup. So then I have to take my glove off and I'll touch the buttons and make it happen. Hey Google, maps. So there you go. Again, this unit is awesome. Even with its little hiccup there going from the lower bar to the main screen, not using the Wonder Wheel, I believe that'll be fixed shortly. And that'll be awesome when that does. It'll be a perfect unit. Right now, I love having Audible. I love having the different apps that I want to get to. You know, I'll listen to books on a long ride, books on tape. Read the news, I don't know. Probably not read the news, I've never done that riding a bike, but I do go to XM Sirius. I'll use Spotify, XM, the phone, I'll go to my phone, dial up there, maps, and then Audible. But it'd be nice to go back and forth and to do that using the Wonder Wheel back and forth. So again, I'm using the Wonder Wheel and back to the main screen. Then if I hold it down for the Wonder Wheel for a couple seconds, let go, I've got the 3 screens, 1, 2, and 3. If I hold the Wonder Wheel to the right again, it takes me to all of Android Auto, which is fantastic. But the challenge is that you can't use this, you can't jump back and forth to the lower bar to make changes, and that is the problem. Well, there you have it, the Chigee AIO-5 Play for BMW. I've really enjoyed this tool, if you will. I've been on I went on a 450-mile ride, and I used it. I loved it. To be able to use it for music, for news, for Audible, I checked it all out. It worked great. Again, a little bit of a challenge moving from the upper screen to the bar, but it worked out fine, and I think that gets resolved in the near future. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It really helps the algorithm. And if you haven't subscribed, leave some comments. Love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. God bless. Ride safe. Talk to you soon.